I'm recording now.
Okay.
All right, Christina, you said you was bringing up Jamie's. We can start with Jamie.
No, I have Shree and Brandon.
Okay, Jamie, who do you have?
I have Christina, and I just pulled up Shree's paper.
Okay, you want to do Christina first, or you want to?
Yeah, I'll do Christina's first.
Okay.
All right, Christina.
Okay.
But the
I'm
content,
ready.
the content of the task is aligned to the course content. The candidate has used a survey and observation to collect school-wide data. It is evident that the knowing will influence the next steps of doing. For your the strengths, it says the candidate was sure to cite the best practices from the literature review. The candidate also used the data collected from the surveys and walkthroughs to identify needs and determine next steps. I didn't see any weaknesses based on that rubric. Leadership is demonstrated by the candidate's role of creating the checklist and being a part of the walkthrough observation. The candidate also demonstrated leadership through analyzing the data and visually representing the information. All right, so the grammar stuff. On the first page, the second sentence, I think like have non-negotiable. I just said to add an S to make it non-negotiables.
Okay.
An S to the word walkthrough. And then where it says the 9 questions related to teacher leadership, I think the next couple of words, it kind of flow. So I said just maybe add the word in before you put the 9 questions. So maybe in the 9 questions, and then it'll flow a little bit better.
Okay.
And it's based upon research by the candidate, just add a comma behind that. And that was the only things I saw with the grammar. Organization. Okay. Don't forget to add the running head and page numbers at the top of it. It was organized in a professional manner and easy to read. Your ideas are clearly presented and the evidence is easy to locate. And then for your APA formatting, I just put your graphs and visuals are cited properly and aligned to the task.
Okay, awesome.
All right, Christina, I had yours as well. For content, I put Christina ensured her work was aligned by following the rubric, which expected her to provide visual representation of her findings, and she provided graphs. For rubric strength, she explained her findings and how it impacted her school. For rubric weaknesses, after reading Christina's paper, I did not pinpoint a weakness because she followed the rubric and ensured she covered all areas that was required in her paper. For leadership, I put leadership is demonstrated by Christina. She reached out to her administrative team to provide them with a way to update the observation form for the upcoming school year. She also displayed leadership by taking the initiative to do an empowerment survey for the school to give administration feedback on how staff members feel about teacher empowerment. For mechanics and grammar, I put add page number to your paper. Page 2, delete extra spacing between after building teacher empowerment, I think. And then on page 2, add an S to walkthrough. For organization, I basically put you did a good job and it was easy to read. And for the APA format on page 10, add an apostrophe at the end of this, not apostrophe, quotation marks at the end of the sentence on page 10, because you started with a quotation, but you didn't close it, and add a page number within the sentence.
Gotcha. All right.
Okay, I had Brandon's. So was someone else give?
Do you have besides Brandon's?
I have Brandon's and Tawanda's.
So do Tawanda's.
Do Tawanda's first.
And then we'll do Brandon since he's not here just yet. So.
Okay. So Tawanda, I looked over yours and I thought you did a wonderful job. So to start off with, the content was aligned with what was expected. I stated that you did provide evidence and that you demonstrated understanding in a narrative form. You also created the checklist for teacher effectiveness, and I went to the language, And I any grammatical areas for either the because your language was very well done. And that your graphs, I was very impressed with the way that you had the pie charts. So
Mhm.
um, I did not see any weaknesses, so I did not know any weaknesses. Um, and you did demonstrate leadership because of your the information that you gave pertaining to your school, and in parentheses you also provided the name of your school, although you had the acronym listed. um again, I didn't see any mechanical errors, but I am going to look over it again to make sure
Hey,
that I didn't miss something. Okay. um
CJ's coming.
Ma'am.
I'm sorry. My kids are outside. Sorry.
Okay. APA format was fine. You followed the guidelines, and you put your graphs. You had a lot of graphs, though.
Yeah, it was a lot of stuff. It was a lot of information that I found out just during the survey
Uh
and
huh.
during the walkthroughs.
So,
What is JoJo?
and that was all that I put for you, Tawanda.
Okay. Jamie,
Uh huh.
I had your paper,
Okay.
and for content, I put Jamie ensured her work was aligned by following the rubric, which expected her to provide visual representation of her findings, and she provided graphs. Rubric strength, she explained her findings and how it impacts her school. Rubric weaknesses, after reading Jamie's paper, I did not pinpoint any. Leadership, I put Jamie displayed leadership by taking the initiative to do an empowerment survey for the school to give administration feedback on how staff members feel about empowerment. She also displayed leadership by further educating herself on the gradual release framework. For mechanical and grammar, I put on page 5, add a comma after the parentheses where you cited a source, but you forgot the comma there.
Okay.
For organization, the artifacts that were selected are easy to locate and professionally formatted in a way that a reader can locate information easy. And for APA format on page 10, no, not on page 10. I have a question though. After you cite a source and you put the name and the date, do you have to put the page number at the end of, before the end of the sentence?
If it's a direct quote.
Only if it's a direct. Okay, so that's something that I put on your review, but I'll take that out. So you did a great job. It was a great read.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
Okay. I got Sharice. I was or Brandon is still not on, right?
Right.
No. Yeah.
Okay. So I was looking through your paper. As far as content was aligned with course. The only task one was all the data. I mean, the stuff that you had in task one that you presented well in your on task two. You didn't add any. You know, in prompt two, you gotta add your like graphs and stuff. Just add that.
I will.
Yeah, that's all I need. And then I put data was presented well from your elementary school. The observations and even the letter to teachers was well written. Um, Suggestion is just make sure you add the indent on each paragraph that you start. That's the only thing I saw as far as grammar.
Okay.
I didn't see in you know, like just a tab when you start.
Okay.
And then on your headers, just put it in bold. So when you don't have indent and bolds, it looks just like a one long paper.
Now, do you suggest that where I have it italicized, should I
That's
change
what
that?
I usually just put italic and bold.
Okay.
Just every time there's something new that I start, I put italic and bold.
Okay.
But everything else is fine. Whatever you have, it looks great. I didn't see any grammar or anything. It's just like I said, it just looks like one long thing.
Okay.
You know, it's nothing break down. So that's the only thing. So if
Okay.
you can get that done, that'll look great, and add all the graphs and work that you put in to prompt two.
I will.
Okay, Sharia had yours as well. Excuse me, the task is aligned to the course content. Your knowing affects your doing. Let's see, the strengths is well written. The weaknesses, I know like in the rubric it said to, let me see, let me go back to the rubric real quick.
Okay.
It says something about citing the sources. It says candidates thoroughly cite best practices literature review sources. So just go back to like your task 1 and, you know, input some of that information in there too. You're going through those different headings.
Okay.
Let's see. Leadership is demonstrated through the evidence in your task. On page 13 in that chart for Wednesday, just check the spelling of the word observe. And then also on that page, you have like one of the headings at the very bottom with no content under it because you ran out of space. It just ran out of space. So just push that heading down so it's on the next page. And then I saw a little bit of extra spacing, and then just don't forget to indent your paragraphs.
Okay.
Everything is structured in a logical manner. And then for like where it says the subheadings and everything, again, just make sure you bold them or, you know, make sure that you indent those paragraphs so we can clearly see those headings.
Okay.
And everything looks good so far. Just be sure to add your graphs in there, you know, in the next task.
I'm not going to submit that to them tonight because my graphs aren't up there, but I'll do my graphs tomorrow so that I can get it for a found tomorrow.
Okay, but it looks like a great start so far.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I say. Also, don't forget to submit it to that clinical coach too when you add it.
I will. And you think I could send him? I haven't added the graphs, but I will send it tomorrow. You think that would be feasible, or don't do anything? Wait till tomorrow.
As far as your graphs,
Yeah, send it to Dr. Pickard now, or just wait till I finish my graph.
I would send
I
it.
would give them something.
Yeah, I would. If it was me, I agree. Send everything you have and just put a sentence. The prompt 2 is coming.
Okay.
I'm finishing up because, you know, like we had tornado for 2 days, so it kind of set it back no matter how you look at it. But as long as you put everything in,
Okay.
you know, your research and stuff,
Okay.
I would do it at that.
And then he can go ahead and give you feedback on the first part, so you can be correcting that by the time he, you know, do that.
I will go ahead and send that now. Should I send it to Dr. Sumner as well, or just
I
wait?
would.
The
Well,
revision.
it's in the dashboard. It's in the dashboard. I get, because she's going to give you a final grade on the one that you submit to her tonight.
Yeah.
So do all your corrections and stuff.
But
As long as it's in the dashboard for now.
do y'all know that there's a revision part and then there's a final? You got a revision for task 2 and then there's a final for task 2. She has 2 different
Yeah, once
grades.
you get the revision is like when after all our reviews, that's when you revise and submit. And the final is, I feel like, after Dr. Pickard goes through it and checks it, I feel that's the one that we should submit. That's how I feel, because, you know, his critique is probably the best.
That's how I did it with the app. So after he did all his stuff, then that's when I went back and did the final for her.
Yeah, me too. Because as long as you submit the revision, even if it's revised, as long as it's in it. But then you need to submit his. Well, you know, like his is, I feel like, more important.
Okay.
Cherie, did you fall?
No, girl, look, I'm over here trying to get my stuff to Dr.
Oh.
Because I'm trying to make these deadlines.
No.
And look, my hair. Are we still recording?
Yeah, you want me to stop it? I'm going to stop recording.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think